All right, let's talk about something you've probably seen 100 times, maybe even this morning. It's a landmark in almost every neighborhood, but it's not made of bricks or stone. It's made of habit. We're diving into a story about a problem so common we've all learned to just look past it, and a solution so simple it's kind of revolutionary. It all starts with a phrase in Hindi that just perfectly captures it: the mountain outside the bin. Think about that for a second. It's not just a pile of garbage, is it? It's a monument to our collective blind spot, a landmark that grows one bag at a time. It's a sight we've all gotten way too comfortable with.
So what's really going on here? I mean, it's so easy to point fingers, right? Blame the city, the system, the garbage truck schedule. But what if the problem isn't really out there? What if it's a shared blind spot, a habit we all fall into without even thinking about it?
So let's meet Neha. She's a busy professional living in Surat. And for her, like for so many of us, life is hectic. That little 2-minute job of just adding her trash bag to the pile next to the overflowing bin, it just seemed like the most logical, convenient thing to do. And here's the disconnect we all live with. You know the justifications we tell ourselves? The bin is full. What can I do? Or, hey, it's the city's job to handle this. But the reality? Well, the reality is pretty ugly. Dogs are ripping bags open, plastic is blowing all over the street, and that smell? Yeah, you know the one. We end up creating the very mess we complain about. But every story of real change has a turning point, a catalyst. For Neha, it wasn't a citywide campaign or a new fine. Nope. It was something much more personal. It was her mother coming for a visit. So her mom goes out for her first morning walk in the neighborhood, and she's back in like 5 minutes, looking totally disturbed. And she asks this simple, honest question: what is this state of affairs, child? And just by seeing it through her mother's fresh eyes, Neha is forced to really see that mountain of trash for the first time. The next day, Neha's about to do her usual routine, add her bag to the pile, but her mother stops her. And she asks this question that is so simple yet so powerful, it changes everything. She just asks, when the dustbin inside your house is full, what do you do? That comparison just hits you, doesn't it? And then her mom follows it up with his absolute truth bomb. The trash outside is also yours. You just don't want to see it. And boom! In that one moment, the whole idea of public space versus my space just dissolves. The line between my trash and their problem completely disappears. Okay, so having a big realization is one thing, but actually doing something about it, that's the hard part. But for Neha, this new way of seeing things immediately turned into a decision to break that old, easy habit. So the very next morning, she's faced with the exact same situation. The bin is full. But this time, Neha does something completely different. She doesn't drop the bag. She waits. It was just 10 minutes, but in a rushed morning, that can feel like an eternity. It was a small, inconvenient choice, but it was the first step. And her tiny act of patience has this immediate, surprising effect. The sanitation worker who shows up with the truck, he's genuinely taken aback. He says to her, "Ma'am, people usually just throw it and leave." His comment just proves how unusual her simple act of waiting really was. She had broken the unwritten rule. Now, one person changing their ways is great, but the real magic happens when that change starts to spread. Neha's small act of responsibility was about to set off a chain reaction in her entire community. And here's how it unfolded, step by step. First, Neha just made a new rule for herself. Simple. Wait, but never, ever leave trash outside the bin. Soon enough, a couple of her neighbors noticed her doing this every day, and they started doing it too. That little bit of momentum led to a simple message in their building's group chat. And you know what? Within a few weeks, the mountain was gone. Completely gone. Just before she leaves, Neha's mother looks at the clean street corner and gives the perfect summary of the whole thing. She says, "Now it feels like people live here, not just trash." And that just says it all, doesn't it? This was never just about cleaning up garbage. It was about reclaiming a sense of community and pride. So when we zoom out, what's the big lesson here? What did Neha's story really teach us? Well, it's a realization that goes way beyond just one overflowing dustbin. When you get right down to it, the problem was never the bin. It wasn't about its size or where it was placed or the pickup schedule. The bin was just a bin. The real issue was our relationship to it.
and to the space we all share around it. Which brings us to the heart of it all. The problem starts the exact moment we decide our responsibility ends at the rim of the bin, the moment we place our accountability on the ground right next to it. And that leaves us with a pretty powerful question, doesn't it? In what other parts of our lives are we leaving our responsibility just outside the container?
एक कदम विकसित भारत की ओर।